tell you this every year, that the summit is the highlight of my year. Every year I create a kind of prayer mantra as I'm coming up to the summit. This year my mantra has been record registrations, record impact. Over 65,000 leaders are in buildings all over North America right now listening. I know God's going to work, and so I've been praying that record numbers of people would show up, and record numbers of people have shown up.
This has been way beyond my expectations. It's a great experience.
This conference has taken our church to a new level in leadership. It's taken me as a leader to new levels in leadership, and that's why we come back here every year. I mean, literally, it's the highlight of our year.
This is a fountain of life. Whoever is missing this is missing part of his life.
It is an opportunity for God to breathe fresh fire into your soul.
I think it's important for young leaders to come and learn and grow and understand what other people can sow into your life to make you a better leader. I feel like it makes me a better leader.
We love the satellites because convenience, closeness, and cost effectiveness.
We like to come to the satellite because it's a smaller, more intimate environment.
By bringing our leaders here, it exposes them to potential and possibilities that makes change easier in our congregation.
In some respects, you really begin to see that your church, the God's church, is beyond just the four walls in which you worship.
On an annual basis, I want to be exposed to cutting-edge information, to cutting-edge leaders. I don't know where else we gather this caliber of faculty on such a global scale.
We think one of the ways that we can serve church leaders is to expand their learning bandwidth.
Leadership is about seeing potential in others. Let's face it, none of us learn unless we're outside our comfort zone. If you're doing something that you really know how to do well, you're not learning anything, you're just practicing skills.
So the essence of all leadership, the essence of all interpersonal action between leaders and followers has to rest on a solid foundation of, I trust you, I'm with you.
Let tomorrow begin with you looking in the mirror and saying to yourself, what are my strengths and how can I volunteer them today? And then let every day thereafter start the same way, because then and only then will we get to see the best of you.
It's not an anomaly that the Bible says that all of us are equal and before the cross. We actually are.
I can only do one thing. I can only really write comedy and deal with comedians and television. But I'll ruthlessly do the thing that I do to try and rectify this general injustice. I promise you that we can achieve world poverty being crushed by a new generation. And we're just trying to find leaders who'll have the courage to do it.
Each year there's something spectacular that I walk away with. I come to the Leadership Summit more to be inspired to continue to do the work that God's called me to do.
It makes me believe that I'm not the only person out here wanting to do great big things for God. I think that's what happens. I feel like we could do this. It is possible, and I got great big dreams, and I want to do great big things, and I think the Leadership Summit makes me believe that's possible.
It is perhaps the most important thing we do as a team every year.
You lead without fear, because behind you always, behind me always, God is at work in unseen, unknown, unnamed, unlikely ways, in mangers and deserts and Gethsemane gardens and crosses, and in this funny, difficult, glorious invention called the church.
Why did He give you the gift? Why did God invest the leadership gift in you? In part, it was so that you could make a contribution toward leading and building one of these supernatural communities that would defy all of the sadness and hopelessness in this world, and that would one day result in groups of fired up people, loving God and loving people and solving problems and caring for the poor. Still to this day, 32 years into it, I'll say it, there's nothing like the local church. When the local church is working right, there's nothing like it.